I suppose. Right, off you go then.
Okay, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday. Hopefully everyone's got that Friday feeling, and I believe it's coming up to half term for everyone. So whoever's breaking up today, you lucky lot. Can I just ask that everyone remain on mute unless you've got a question at all to ask? More than happy to take any questions throughout this session. But today's session is all about BAT software and how it can enhance your offering within your office. So hopefully you can all see my screen, and it's the BAT system. So I'm into the brand new dashboard of BAT. And you can see here different pods of information that I've set up on my dashboard. Every person who uses BAT can change their, have their dashboard set up the way they want to look at it. Information that flows in from the back end of the system into the dashboard, so you can have a great look at it and what you want to look at when you look into the system. You can see here on my dashboard, I have shortcuts, so I can whiz off straight to those areas without actually going down the actual list on my left-hand side. So I can actually go straight up to see all my clients. So that's software. Today, I'm going to go through some of the key areas of BAT, and the main two key areas of BAT software is the actual T&C area and the compliance function. So let's go into T&C. So hopefully you guys are all familiar with this area. Training and competency. So here we go. We've got our financial exams. So IFAC have set up a number of financial exams built into the system. These can be taken anytime, and you have 3 attempts, usually 30 to 40 minutes they have to set these exams, but most of these exams you can whiz through in no time whatsoever. So hopefully you can have a look at these. Going into the financial exams, you click into that, hopefully it whizzes through, there you go. And you can see here we have all the financial exams that have been set up. Now there is a filter list here as well. So if you wanted to, you can just look at all the mandatory exams. So the mandatory exams are set by the IFAC, as you can see here. Managing and laundering, fit and proper, cyber security exams. You have 3 attempts to go through them. There is learning material on all of the exams. Once you've taken the exam, that will feed into your Cpd Register as well. So you're getting the hours on that. You don't have to think, oh, I've got to add that to my Cpd Register. You're getting that added in there automatically. There's lots of specialist exams as well in here. So if you wanted to enhance your offering, you can see here we have business protection, we have ESG investments, equity release. There's lots of different specialist exams, adding more hours to your financial Cpd Register. Hopefully that helps you with these financial exams. By all means, take them. You've got the rest of the year to take them, but the sooner you get them out of the way, you won't have to think, oh God, I've got a couple of weeks left to take these exams. Take them, get them out of the way quickly. Fantastic. You do get notifications as well on here. So any of the mandatory exams, you can see here at the top, there's a notification key. So that will highlight any of the mandatory exams that haven't been sat, that need to be sat up and completed. Once you've done that, they will just disappear off your notifications area. Going back into T&C, you have your Cpd Register and your Cpd analysis. So in your Cpd Register, this gives you a list of all the learning, the Cpd learning you've done for this year. So you can see here, I've got master look, so I can see everyone. However, it's just down to an individual, you'll just see your own learning here. So if I flash up myself quickly, there you go, add the filter, it will show me all my learning. You can see here there's some computer-based training that I've done this year, but I've also been to a seminar, or I've done some research on investments. I can add that in. So you may go off to a seminar, a workshop, a meeting, and then you've got a Cpd certificate from a provider, say. You can add that to your register as well. So it's giving you a good log of what you're doing over the course of this year as well. And you know where you are with your learning. You can actually download this list as well into an Excel spreadsheet. I know a number of people have contacted me recently, CII or professional bodies have contacted them to see what their CPD has been over a certain period. The Excel spreadsheet, you can download that and it's accepted by the professional bodies. We've had no comeback on that at all. So going back into the T&C area, the analysis as well of CPD. This breaks it down even further. So I'm going to quickly find myself again. You can see here, it just gives us a good breakdown of what we've done as well. And it breaks it down into structured and unstructured hours on the system. It's a nice breakdown of your CPD area. Within this area as well, we have qualifications, your professional bodies, your SPS and onboarding. So qualifications and professional bodies, if you've got certain qualifications, you're members of certain professional bodies, you can add that to your profile. And this adding it to your profile enhances your offering as well. So it's in their system, so you know what qualifications, what professional bodies you're members of. So a big team, you need to look at that. You can see who's got what qualification. Your SPS register here, you can see when your SPS is due to expire, and notifications will flash up as well. So you can see here, I've got master look, so I can see all the people who have issued by certain boards and when their SPS is due to be expire or within the system. You know, I've got the last one on here is onboarding. So this is for businesses which are onboarding advisors. You may have a number of advisors that come on board. There's an onboard process. It's a tick list. It's showing you what your process are to onboard an advisor within the system. So we've got applications. You can click onto applications. You can see here we can select a advisor, new advisor that's come on board, and we can go through all the tick list of making sure that we've got everything available for that advisor. So when that advisor comes on board, we know we've got a log, we've got an audit of what we've done with that advisor. So that's the T&C area of BAT software. The next key area we have is the compliance area. So just click into compliance. I know this is a massive area of BAT and it's used quite a lot. You can see here we've got audits, the inquiries and complaints, the promotions, file checks and breach register. Now, audits are to be done about when IFAC do a full audit on businesses. So they have a look at what you guys are doing. Hopefully everyone's at low risk and all hunky-dory and everything like that. But the outcome is all logged in audits within the system. So you can click into audits and see where the last visits here. So you can see here, let's turn that around so we can see the last visit. There you go. There's the outcome. And you can see here, I was at medium risk as an advisor practice. So there you go. And I can have a look at any issues. I can also edit those issues that I need to make sure that, make sure I've completed any of the issues that have been brought up. And it's all registered in with the system as well. I'm going to touch on inquiries and complaints and the breach register. So these two registers here, I don't want anyone to use. They're there, but I don't want them to use them because I don't want anyone to have a breach and I don't want anyone to have a complaint made against them. They're there for a full audit of what a complaint or a breach is within this, the business. Why we've called it inquiries and complaints instead of complaints register is you get an inquiry. Is it really a complaint? It may be just a whinge. But if it goes into complaint, at least you can go through the whole cycle of that complaint process. So you click into the complaint register. And you can see here, unfortunately, I've got quite a few on the go. But if I have a new one, I can say new inquiry. And you can see here we have a workflow all the way through. So it's a complaint. We can select the client. So sorry, the advisor, sorry, it's myself. We can say the client, Steve Smith, what business it is. It's nice. I don't know. There you go. So you can see here the red asterisks. These are all required fields that need to be completed before we could actually move on. Once we've completed those areas, we move on to the next one area. And the next area is to do with the PI checklist. And you can see here the checklist of the PI. We move next stage, the response dates. So you've got your acknowledgement date, your 4-week letter, your 8-week letter, and your final response. Sometimes it just goes acknowledgement to final response. It's just down to how you are dealing with that complaint. The complaint goes further. You've got your assessor's decision. Then if the client wants to take it even further, they've got the FOS. So you can have an audit of what's happening there. And then even further, you've got the financial ombudsman. All information is held in there as well. So you've got a full audit of the whole of that complaint. Now, as I said to you, I don't want any of you guys using it because I don't want anyone really having complaints against them. It's there. Hopefully you will never have to use it, but it is a central part of the actual BAT system. Let's go back into compliance. You can see here with the breach register as well. The breach register, say we've got a data protection breach, you can register that as well. And you can have all that information. So it's a full audit of what's happening within that breach. So if the FCA or someone contacts you regarding that breach, at least you've got it in electronic format on the system. Back into complaints. So the key areas in complaints. File checks. I know a number of you guys think, okay, all my file checks are getting done by IFAC. Great, they're all held automatically in the system. Fantastic. Now, there is certain ways that file checks are done within BATs. There's the automation and the manual process. So in the automation of file checks, the system is clever enough where it's set up on a certain percentage, say 20%. 20% of any business you put on the new business register is picked up by IFAC and automatically sent over for a file check. However, there is a manual process as well. There's an independent file checking button within file checks. There you go, that button there. Or when you're putting business onto new business register, you'll see a little request button by the side of it. So here we go. We've got the request button there. That request button, if you press that, that will send the message off to IFAC. So a file check can actually be produced and completed online for you. Can I ask everyone to put themselves on mute, please? Sorry. So let's go back into the compliance again, the file checks area, sorry. So when I'm in the file checks, you can see within the file checking area, you can see we have a number of file checks that have been completed or ongoing. And you can see here, whether it's pre or post sale, whether it's policy links, and you can see mine's a test because it's a test site, but it actually gives you a highlight of what's happened. If it's a manual process, it will say manually requested. If it's automatic, it will actually say it's an automatic request as well. It actually drills it down whether it's a vulnerable client as well. So it brings up those as well. All within the actual file checking area. Once, as I said to you as well, there is another manual process to request it. So there's another area where you can actually set it up a ad hoc file check, and that's the independent area. Now, if I go into independent file checks, it gives me a nice page. And you can see here, we've got new client. Now the client doesn't have to be on the back system. All we have to do is complete the full name and the surname on the system. We can select the business type, whether it's new business, replacement, existing policy. We can select the policy type, and they're all here: investments, pensions, mortgages, protection cases, they're all in there. So you can just drill down and find the right one for you. Whether it's pre or post sale, you can see here, because I've logged in, I'm the advisor, and you can see here I'm active, the client's active, or you could say whatever the client is, if they're not logged in the system. And towards the bottom, you can drag and drop, or you can open your folder structure, push all your files into here, and then you have your checklist at the bottom. So this is the manual process if you wanted to do it, to request an ad hoc file check to be completed. Once you've completed all that information, you've dropped all your files in, you just press the send request button, and that goes shooting off to IFAC. So it ends in their queue to be completed. Once it's completed, you'll get a notification of that as well. Then the notification email will come back to you with a link on. You can click on that link, and if you're logged into BAT, it'll take you straight there. If you're not, you just need to log yourself in, and then you can see whether you've got any remedial work, what your scoring is. It's all held in the system for you. Into compliance, and another key area is promotions, financial promotions. So this is coming quite, we're getting quite a few promotions at the moment coming through, which I think lots of people are using it for social media, because I think social media is taken off and people are using TikTok and all that. So they need to make sure it's all compliant in front of their clients. This, you see here, this is a list of all the financial promotions that I've got at the moment. You can see on my test site, I've got quite a few pending ones, but I've also got quite a few that are not approved. You can see here as well, we've got the filter list as well, so we can filter it down. If I need to add a new financial promotion, so I need to run it past IFAC to be compliance checked, I just add promotion. You get another page. You can say what the title of the promotion is. So I'm going to say it's a newsletter. The date it's requested, that's today. Who's it requested by? Well, it's me. Category, I'm going to say it's a financial promotion. The type, so it's a newsletter again, and the media. So we're going to send it out via the internet today. That is all the information I need to complete, because there's the required fields, but we can add further information. So the company advisor, any adjudication. So you could say it's UK. And if you needed to, you could say it's a deadline to it as well. And also you can add further notes regarding that promotion. So as you notice, I've not added my newsletter here. And you're probably thinking, where do I add this newsletter or this promotion or whatever, what am I adding? If it's a document, a newsletter, a letterhead, a business card, you're going to need to add that. So if it's a website, you can just add it to the notes here, but then you may be able to, IFAC be able to log in and actually see that. However, it's a document, you're going to need to upload that. So if we say save, you can see it's attached to the top of my list, and I have an email as well. So going into that, you can see here we've got upload file. So we press the upload file, brings us up this box, what's the description, what's a newsletter, and you can see here, drop the file in. So let's just drop a quick file in. So let's drop that file in there. Close that. It's now has been uploaded. So that now is in IFAC's queue to be compliance checked for a financial promotion. You will get notification once that comes back and it's been compliance checked, and it will tell you whether it's any remedial work that needs requiring or whether it's been passed. or there's an expiry date on there. It tells you everything on the notification that comes back. So you just click on the link, email link, and it takes you into the BAT system. As I said to you before, if you're logged into BAT, take you straight there. If not, you just need to add your credentials in to get into the system to retrieve that information. At least you know that all your financial promotions are being compliance checked for you. So those are the main two key areas of BAT, really, the compliance and the T&C. But as I said to you, BAT can be used as a CRM, a back office system. So you can store all your client information on there as well. So we're going to go and have a look at some of the client features on BAT now. And by all means, I am talking a lot. If you have any questions, please open up, have a chat, talk to me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions as well. So let's go into the clients now. So we can go into clients. You can see here, nice little dashboard of clients information. So we've got a pod for all my clients, the BAT store, campaigns, document center, and the portal access. So all my clients, this is all the clients you hold on BAT. It can be changed for different people. So if certain advisors just need to see their own clients, they will see that. If you've got administrators or someone needs to see everything, they can see that as well. So they can see all the clients on the dashboard, on the system. There is various ways of getting basic client data into BAT. You can use the bulk template, so it gives you a nice spreadsheet, and you can complete that and then push that spreadsheet into the system, and it pushes all your files, all the client's data into the system for you. So all the basic client data, so your full client name, your date of birth, email addresses, address, phone numbers, all within the system for you. However, say we want to add an individual, we can just click on add, and it just brings us up a nice page to add the client. Now you can see here we have required fields, because you need those required fields to get the client data onto the system. We just click on quickly add some data. So I know I said Fred blogs. Now there is on the system as well now a duplication. So this stops any duplication of clients. So you can actually say, okay, who are these clients? There you go. I've got a Fred Smith, Fred Brown, or Fred blogs. So I can see there, I can say it's a different client, or I can add it straight to that same client. So you can see save new clients anyway, because it doesn't match any of those clients. That client is now on the system. Now you notice that I only put the client name into the system. That is all that's required. However, I can find that client by my search here, and I can say Fred. There he is. But and you can see here we've gone into that client now, all that prospect, all that lead, you may want to say. And there's a nice new look now to the client's profile. Instead of having all the information on one page, you can see here there's little tabs of information where you can go off and go straight to those areas. You click on edit. You can see it takes us back to this page, and now we can actually start adding some information in if you want to do some further information. You've also got the ability to contact, those settings for whether the actual client wants to be contacted by mail, email, phone, social media, and then you've got also the further details as well down the bottom that screen of that client. So say we've completed some further information that will be added to our clients within the system. Let's go back in. And I'm going to go into one of my ready-made clients. So I know I have got a client called Robert Smith. There he is. Now you're probably looking at this page as well and wondering why there's access, not eligible, and no access. Now this is to do with the client portal. So you can pick and choose which clients you want to enable on the client portal. Client portal is nice system to use. You can send secure messages, documentation through that system, and also you can utilize the electronic fact find built into BAT, so you can get your clients to complete a fact find online and then send it back to you or for the system. So you can complete a fact find yourselves if you wanted to, but you can get the client to complete it through the portal. Very secure. The secure messaging service is fantastic. You can whiz a secure message straight off to them. They get an email notification saying that they need to click on the link to retrieve that message, but they can also, send the message back to you. That secure messaging service as well is fantastic. You can actually use it to contact us at BAT or IFAC or other users while on the system. So other members of staff within your business, you can send secure messages and documents there to them as well. So let's go into Robert Smith. And as you can see here, I've got various other information on here. So we've put the client on the system. System's already automatic done its sanctions check. We can do a verifications check using our link with Experian. And there's a vulnerability questionnaire as well. So we can complete a vulnerability questionnaire to see if that client fits the actual standard to be a vulnerable client. The verifications check, fantastic. You can click on the verification ID, it whizzes off to Experian and gathers that information and then gives you a nice report at the end of it. So you're getting an ID verification of that client on the system. I believe the search, each search is about 66 pence a search, which is pennies really when you think about it, but it gives you the sense that you're getting the latest information on that client and you'll get their ID verified. So you may have clients that are running around thinking, oh, where's my utilities bill, where's my passport, where's my driving license or something like that. At least if you're doing this, you've got an electronic format of that. So as I said to you, we've done this nice new design of the system, and you can see here we can go into the fact find. So you can see I've sent out a few fact finds the client has completed, but we can go and look at the current fact find. So this is the current fact find. This is my design on the system. However, this fact find is fully customizable per business. You can do whatever you want to do to fact find. You can mix and match it around. You can add different sections, and I'll be going through how you can do that very shortly on the system. But as I say, if you wanted a client to complete it online, you can whiz this through to the portal. They can complete all the information. There's nothing stopping you from completing this for your clients. You may have a paper copy and you've come back and you can type it in, or administrators types it all in. You've got all the client information on their system for you. Let's go back into client. There you go. We've got our activities. So any of the activities we've done, so any phone calls, meeting notes, reminders, workflows we've done for this client, or we need that are coming up, you can add that to the system. So at least you've got a contact management area, a task management area of the system for each client. You can run that through. You can also, on certain tasks, you can set it for different people within businesses as well. So you may assign it to an administrator, a power planner, another advisor, whoever. You can assign tasks to those people. Next tab along is policies. So it gives us all a list of all the policies. So this matches the look of the new business register. If you're adding information on the new business register, this feeds into the clients. You don't have to come into the client and add it again. It's just feeds straight in here as well. So to add a new policy, you'll be adding that on the new business register, not within the clients. Turnover. So turnover is to do with fees and your remuneration. So if you've got an ongoing remuneration, initial fees, or anything like that, you've added against a policy and it's being paid, you can add that into the system, and it's attached to the per client as well. So you can see how much you're earning from that client. You can see here how much you can earn over a certain period as well. It's just, now this is the secure messages. So you can see here, we can go to the message center. and we can go and have a look at any messages that we've sent back and forth from this client. So here you go, lots of test emails I've sent back and forth from the clients. You can see here this one I sent, rates are due for review, please contact me, and just the clients come back, I'll be in touch. So that's through the secure messaging service, which is off, and we can put attachments on that as well. So let's go back into Roberts. There you go. Okay, and the last tab along is documents. So you can store a documentation within the system because you're storing documentation regarding your file checks. So you may want to store other documents as well. So within here, you can see a list of all the documents that you hold on the clients. And if you've given access through the client portal, you can share certain documents with your clients. So you can see this one here, it's locked, but I can actually share it with my clients if I wanted to by unlocking it. So just unlock the file. There you go. And now I'm sharing that with my clients. The client goes into the portal now, they can see that document. Let's get back in. So we're in Roberts at the moment. I know I know Jack's asked me about sourcing and actually completing the fact find. So hopefully I've answered your question of how to add a client on the system, Jax. But to complete the fact find, you can complete it online, or you can get your client to complete it. But if you wanted to use sourcing, we're going to go into clients now, and you can see the BAT store. So if I go into BAT store, this gives us all our integration partners at the moment. So you can see here we have 27 Tech for mortgages, iPipeline for protection. We have research tools, Synaptics and De Facto, and then we have further partners here. We've got in Check My File, Experian. We've got a link to Transact for valuations, Zero integration. Nice integration between BAT and these partners as well. Now, if we wanted to source a pension, sorry, not a pension, a mortgage through the system, and we wanted to gather client information, so we don't have to duplicate it, we don't have to go outside the system to go and do that, we can click on our link to 27 Tech. It's whizzing around now. And this takes us into our integration with 27 Tech. Now, on this area here, you can say we've got a free quote, but we can select different clients from our system. So let's go and find my client, Robert Smith. There he is. And behind the scenes, his data is there. Now, I haven't completed some of the data, but I can. It should bring all the data across regarding gender, nationality. I don't think it brings across, and smoker and criminal convictions. We haven't got that; those don't come across either. It also brings across the partner. So we've linked the partner to that client, and from here we can add property details. We can add filters, and then at the front end, you want to source the information. So you can just complete all the information here and what you're looking for. So whether it's a standard residential, buy-to-let, equity release, you're just getting it all through the 27 Tech sourcing of the system. So you complete all the information here. Make sure your filters are completed, and then once you've done all that, press search for mortgages, and that will go off to, that will gather the information from 27 Tech, and then you'll get a list of all the actual mortgages that are available for that case. You'll also get your evidence of research tool as well, and all that will be in the system, so you can gather that information. And then any reports that you've pulled up as PDFs, you can pull those into BAT and store them within your clients as well. Okay, so let's go back into clients. Now we're getting on. So other areas here, we've got campaigns and the document center. So campaigns, if you do mail merges, so you've got a standard letter that you use, you can actually use campaigns for mail merges. So here you can see I've got a list of different letters. I can add a new one. I can add a suitability report if I wanted to. And then I can just go, if I'm adding a new one, say if I did this new one here, this is my template. So I can type up my mail merge letter, whatever I wanted to do. I can select different clients it's going to. And then I've got the actual template, what it looks like. Now the template on yours will have your logo and your address because it feeds through from your system. But you can see here, we've got a log of all that. And we can also do whatever we want to do with these. From this, we can generate it in PDF. We can save it. If you're generating them all in PDFs, you can, push them into PDF, then I know, put it in snail mail or put it in email or use the secure messaging service through the system. Nice way to have a mail merge within the system. Next part of it is the document center. The document center is to do with any documents you've got in the system. It doesn't matter which client it belongs to, which what description it is, what document it is, what policies it's against. You can do a search on any document on the system to find that document. So it just gives you a list of all the documents you hold on there, and you can do a search on that. Going over to new business. So new business. You've got your new business tab. So this is when we're adding a piece of new business onto the system. Come into new business register. And you can see here, we've got a list of all our new business. And it doesn't matter which client relates to because it's all added onto the system. And it will feed into the client profile, as I said. To add a new piece of business, you just press on what piece of business it is. So it's a mortgage. You can select the client. Say what the advisor reference is. So you can change the advisor. So if I was an administrator, I'm adding something in, you may want to change it for different advisors. What kind of business type it is. It's a new piece of business. The provider. So there are all the providers on here. If the provider's not on there, you've got to request a new provider. However, new thing on here, duplication. So let's say, I don't know, Scottish Widows or something like that. You can see here, there's loads of different ones on there, and you can break it down into further. So you can see here that if they're on, we've got a list of all the actual users. So it stops any duplication of providers as well. So let's just select a random one. So I know that's not a mortgage business, but I've just selected it. Let's just say what it is, what's buy to let, and what the status is, it's live. So those are required fields, but we can add further information in on here. But I'm just whizzing through this, so forgive me. Next stage, you've got your dates, so your policy dates and your policy reminder. So this may be a rate review. So you put a policy reminder in there, and that will feed into the dashboard on your reminders. So you can see the reminder on a certain period. Okay, that's coming up for a rate review. I best contact them. The next page is to do with payments. So any fees, any remuneration, you can add onto the system. And also you can add any sums borrowed if you wanted to, further information. And from there, we go next. And it's just like the file checking area. This is where you can drop all your documents in, because this case may be selected for a file check, or you can manually request that as well. So you can drag all your files in. You've got your checklist down the bottom as well. So push all your documents in. Once we've completed that, we just say submit, and that's added to our new business register. We've got a log of what it is there. There you go. We'll just go back to the new biz, and that should show on my list. Fingers crossed. I put it on there. We're not in date order, wasn't on that, but no, I didn't put the date order in, but it's on my actual list now. So that I've added that against that client. So that's all added onto the system. If we wanted to, we can look into our turnover tab as well. So if the payment's been received, we can add that remuneration on. So on turnover, it's done on what's received, not what's unexpected. And on here, you can actually manually key those fees in if you wanted to, or you can use a bulk template and download. So you can push a spreadsheet of information onto the system. Great way to actually say all my ongoing remuneration, I want to get that onto the system. I want to get it against the clients. If you've got a spreadsheet from a provider, use the bulk template. Fantastic. You just push it on there. You just actually say which title relates to which area of the system. So name, policy number, what kind of revenue type it is, the source, the frequency, the amount, date, and all that. Now the system looks at 2 points of reference on the system to make sure it goes against the client. It will look for the client name or the policy number. Once it's one of those are matched, it will push it into the system. If it doesn't match, it will highlight that to you. And you can either come out and correct the spreadsheet, or you can push it into the system, but then you have to go and find that record to amend it, make sure that it's amended on the system. So you've got it against the right policy or the right client on there as well. So that's going over turnover. Also, quickly jumped out of that. I should have said this. You've got your fee reports as well within the system. So I best highlight this to you. On your fee reports, you can say here, you can put splits. You can do a fee report between which advisor it is, the dates filter. You can also look for what you want, what you're looking for, the amounts and more, or total. And you can add lots of information on there, and you can generate a PDF report from this. So say this advisor, we've got a 80% split. Let's put the date range. So I'm going to put today's date, and I'm going to put, give me, there you go. So we're just going to generate a fee report. There's my report. PDF report. There's all the fees and remuneration I've had over that period, and you can see here that's a total, that's a split, and that's after the split as well. So let's go back into BATS. Okay. Now we've on the system, I'm going to highlight this as well. There is a basic cash flow tool. If you want access to this cash flow tool, please contact me and I can give you access to this. It is basic, so if you're using it for pensions, investments, it's a nice little tool to have where you can add your forecast, say the name of the forecast, you can create it, and literally you can select your clients if you wanted to, and then you can just put your pot of information, your pot on, your withdrawals, your income and expenditure, and your charges, and towards the end of it, it will give you nice graphs as well. So a nice graph as well, and you can also download that into a PDF. So going over to, I'm going to whiz down to documents. So no time's against us. We've got 15 minutes to go. Hopefully everyone's enjoying this. And there's no questions at the moment, so please don't be shy. If you've got any questions, please open up. In documents, you've got the campaigns and you've got your document center. We've touched on those, but you've also got your document library and your auto report writer. So I'm going to go over auto report writer. Click into auto report writer. And you can see here, there's a number of reports that have been written by IFAC, where you can actually take the questionnaire, you can select the clients, you can bring through certain information, you can answer questions on here, and then towards the end of it, you can generate that that report from there. Now, this area is not set, it's not set in stone. You may be a report that you guys want. Please, if you've got a report that you want to be incorporated into your system, give us a shout, let us know, have a look at it. We may be able to map it into the system for you. And then you can be able to bring client information for you into, and you can be able to generate it. So we've got, say we're going to use this suitability report for residential mortgage. And you can see here, it's got generate report already because I've taken it, but I can actually take other questionnaires. So if I click on here, I can select my client. See, it's bringing Andrew's data through. So Andrew's data, I don't think he's got his address. We can actually change certain functions. So we can actually say when's agreements and everything like this. And you can add all this information in. We're going to the next page. Now it's essential that all fields are completed to generate this report. But the good thing about this report, if questions are not applicable, please just put NA against it, because you can generate reports, not just in a PDF, but in a Word document. So if you generate it into a Word document, there is the ability to then make changes to that as well. So once you've gone through all the pages and all this quickly, I know I haven't put complete data, we just click on finish. Once that finishes, this disappears and it takes you back to this page, and this icon here will appear, generate report. Click on generate report, then you have the ability to pick through a PDF or a Word document. As I said, you can see here non-editable or editable. The good thing is you put it into a Word document, you can add further information on there then, and there's nothing stopping you from saving it as a PDF and whizzing it off to someone else if you wanted to. So that's the auto report area. The next area is the document library. Your document library has your IFAC templates. So all compliance documents that IFAC have come up with. You can do searches if you wanted to. So you do, there you go, investment searches. So mortgage ones you can do, or protection, whatever you want to search for. Make sure you can do a little search. Once you've found the right one you're looking for, if you click on download file, this will open a folder structure. So you can see your folders tightened up, and you've got loads of IFAC compliance document templates to utilize. So you can have a look at these documents and utilize them how you want to do as well. That is the IFAC's templates. However, you all have the ability to have your own folder structure as well. So you can see here, mine's called RNS documents because this is the name of this business. It's RNS. So, but it would name, it'd be your name, your documents. So this is your documents folder structure, and you can add your own documents on here. So you may have your own suitability reports, your own compliance manuals, whatever you want to do. If you add it on here, they can be compliance checked by IFAC because they get notified that your document has been pushed into the system. So at least you know your documents are being reviewed for compliance reasons as well. But you can store all your documents in here. So it's a bit of nicety to have your own documents held within the system. Quickly going back into my company. So my company here, we've got information regarding you guys. We've got your reg data. So your reg data is to do with remuneration. So the old Gabriel returns to RMIR. So if I'm using turnover and I'm adding the data on correctly, I can review the reg data all from here. I can see the periods, I can see all the actual amounts of money I've had, and I can generate reports from here as well. So if I whiz down, you can see here the different areas of the system. That's the customer base. I can see advisors as well. There you go. Back into my company, you've got your activities manager. So that gives you a list of all the activities that go in. And then the green boxes here. Now this is dependent on different security settings. This enables you to create things in the system. So you may want to create your own activity type. You customize fact find, your client's service status. So you may have different client service statuses, gold, silver, bronze, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you want. You may have you can generate your own attitude to risk profiler. And then the new item, which is just been released, is job roles. So there is job roles in the system, but there may be, you may have customized job roles within your businesses. So now is an area where you can actually say that a member of staff is whatever job role they have, you can customize that. You can add that job role to the system and assign it to that individual member of staff within the business. So that is down to different security settings. I'm going to touch on the fact find because that comes up quite a lot. And the fact find is fully customizable. So as I say, it's tied into my client bank at the moment. From here, you can see here, this is my default one. I can add a new one. If I'm adding a brand new one, I can call it whatever fact finder wants. I can add different sections. I can add questions, and I can add titles. I can also download them. I can edit the fact find, and I can also delete them. You can have multiple fact finds on here as well. You can see here the up and down arrows, so you can move up and down different sections. Exactly the same with your questions as well. So if I click into, I know, wills and estates, gives us all questions, and I can up and down them. I can delete them. I can also edit them as well. So there you go. I'm editing this question. There's the question. I'm going to allow the client access. I can also set it as a mandatory question, and I can also say within the question, what kind of answer do I want? Do I want it just to say text? Do I want it to have multiple lines of text? Whether it's a date, tick box, yes or no. You may have a selection box, so you may have different answers. So instead of just yes or no, you may have, I know, multiple ones, 4 or 5. You can have those, or just whether it's a numerical answer. And towards the bottom, you can actually say whether it's attached to any certain areas within that as well. That's the customized fact find, and you can utilize it as much as you want on that one as well. I have seen different practices have multiple ones, and the good thing with having multiple fact finds, you may just want to pick and choose the right fact find for the right client. You may have a client that just purely investments. You may just want an investment fact find. You may have a client that is protection of mortgages. You may have that one as well, or you may have a fact find that covers every angle. They're all in the system. The main thing with this is an electronic fact find. So there's nothing to sign, or there's nothing to like print, to complete in writing. It is all through the system, so they complete it on the system. So you can put tick boxes. You may want to put a decoration on there. So in the decoration, once they tick it, they say that decoration has been completed. Once a client has completed the fact find on the portal, if they're using it through the portal, there's a little key that says notify advisor, and they click on that, and you get notification of that as well through the system saying that that client has completed that. So coming to the end now, we have the last section, the message center. So the message center here, you've got your support tickets and you've got your back mail. So we've touched on back mail, secure messaging for the system. Send secure messages off to different users. as well as you wanted to send it off to your clients as well. Your support tickets as well. So this is whether you need any help or support in the system. So in my support tickets, you've registered a issue with the system, you've got a question for IFAC. How do I get those on the system? Well, that's linked to help and support here. Click into help and support. It gives us our ticket wizard. And you can see here we have whether it's a BAT technical support. So I know there's an issue with BAT, or you have a question regarding compliance. On this page as well, best let you know, there is an icon for training videos. So if you click on this link, this takes you to the BAT YouTube channel. I'll quickly go there. So this takes you to the BAT YouTube channel, and you can see here, there's loads of little training videos. You can see there's 81 of them at the moment, but this breaks down BAT into small bite-sized chunks of information. You don't want to be sitting through a half-hour video when you just want a 2-minute snip of information. This gives you how to use the system quite quickly if you want some video watching. Also, this training video that we're recording today will be on here as well. I must let you know that there's not just the BAT YouTube channel, there is an IFAC YouTube channel. So any of the actual training that we've completed over the last couple of weeks, those events are on those YouTube channels. If you want links to those, please let us know. I can provide those links, and you can become a member of those channels, so you can actually see when we release the latest videos as well. So back into support tickets. Today we've got a issue with BAT technical. We can see here, we can just whiz down our ticket to our wizard. Where's that today? So say it's a problem with the client, it's a fact find issue, sovereignty of it. So you can say whether it is like the system is completely crashing, or it's just something that's happened. Let us know. So we're saying it's medium. Describe what it is. So put some text in here, and then go next, and then there may be a screenshot or a document that needs added. You can upload that, and then once that's done, you press finish, and that you'll get a notification that comes back, and it's picked up by the relevant teams for you and run with you. We go back into the message center. Support tickets. So if I go into my support tickets, it will give you a list of all the support tickets you have, what the status is, when the last update, who was the last person to respond, the date you requested it, and then you can review those tickets if you need to, all within the system. So you don't have to pick up the phone to ring someone. You may report something through the system right quickly, and that's a great way to do it. Push it through the system. It all gets picked up from there. So I think we've gone through quite a bit today. My hour has finished. Just want to open it up to everyone on this lovely Friday. Hopefully the weather's holding today, and it's going to hold through the next couple of weeks for Easter. Is there any questions? You can unmute yourselves if you wanted to ask whatever questions you have. By all means, after today's training session, if you want something that is bespoke to you and your team, your business, please contact me and we can set something up on an individual basis.
Well done, Peter. I think, well, I'm still awake. I'm sure one or two others still awake. You're never quite sure when everyone's on mute. And
no, that was excellent, Peter. That was a good reminder of loads of stuff that we don't use that often, but it's a really good refresher. Thank you.
No worries, Terry. Thank you for that. Anyone else? Anyone wants to ask any questions? Anything that's playing on their minds? I'm here. Shoot.
Hi, Peter. Andrew Hallwell, Trudy's partner. I think the only note I'd put down was, the when you were speaking earlier on to do with the promotions bit.
Yes.
I was obviously not I've not been doing the mortgage stuff as long as Trudy has, but how does it kind of, I was unsure how it sort of links in or syncs in with social media. I didn't quite get what you was on about with that bit.
So with social media, this
Well,
well,
I'll better answer that, because social media is a really, really tricky area.
Is it just promoting the company, or I didn't get that bit? If you, I don't know if you know.
It's a very difficult area to monitor, and almost every single large financial services company has just banned it because it's so difficult to monitor. And the FCA put out a ruling saying that every message, every tweet, every message needs to go through this process, and the process is that it gets checked in some way or other, and whether that's internal, whether it's using people like us, but and it's subject to the same rules. And they've made this really specific. And I mean, this goes back 5, 6, 7 years ago. Initially, the industry was up in arms about it, and basically everyone's just moved on. All the networks have banned it, and it's very awkward. Because
so is this kind of regarding, say, if somebody's I don't know, promoting their own company and stuff, it's kind of somebody actually checking what you can put before you post it?
Yes,
correct.
I mean, you just need to
get it now.
The standard hoops. And I mean, the standard hoop is it I mean, if you I mean, you know, some firms have a list of tweets or comments which are acceptable, and you sort of scroll down the list or flick over the pages and think, oh yes, I'll use that one there. But the problem is, if you say, well, actually, you know, we've got the best product, you know, and we can guarantee you a 6% return, it's and you just off the cuff, I mean, you're dead, if you see what I mean, because you can't say that, you can't guarantee it. Then you need all the warnings, and oh my days, you know. And that's the problem. They've applied these rules to every bit of social media, and it's very hard to avoid the barriers. So
I get it now, because it's so easy. I mean, I'm enough to blame. You know, you're typing a letter away and you think it sounds okay, for example, and you know, and it probably comes across different to somebody else. So
and you can enter into a single dialogue with one person, but of course everybody else is watching, and then they use it against you. But,
okay, thanks for that.
It's worthy of a seminar in its own right, actually, because it's a really difficult area, and it's obviously it's a really good way of promoting your business. But how do you do that? You know, how do you? So it's just, if you're involved in any way, be aware that all the big networks will just basically say, not do it. And if you're doing it, just avoid anything even remotely difficult beyond just saying, yeah, we do, you know, we do a fine service.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that.
And so it's very difficult to put that.
It's quite strange one, Andrew, as well, because I've seen TikTok being used by some firms. I'm not a TikTok expert at all. I just thought, what is it?
Yeah, I'm too old for TikTok.
So I don't even know. My nieces use it, but I don't know much about it at all. So that's their you know, their whatever they want to deal with it. But any other questions at all?
Not from me, thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else? No. Okay. Well, thank you.
Some work.
Thank you. Oh, thanks, Charlie. Thank you for your time, everyone. I hope you have a lovely Friday. And if you're breaking up today for the Easter break, have a great time. You know, reach out to me anytime you want to speak to me about that.
Thanks, Peter.
Cheers for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Peter.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, then. Thank you. Bye bye.